Thank you for coming today. And today, I think during the session, we have a student in now, okay? So today, we have a special guest here to help us and to understand the career pathway, okay, the option that we have for international students.
Nice to meet you, everyone. So I went through this path like you guys. I started in Sweden. First, I was student, then I changed work visa, go through all the way until green card citizenship, all the way that you for your future, you want to do the same as well, I guess. So here we go through the different ways you can change your status from F1 visa to get the green card here in the US. Especially with this situation we have here, you're changing the law, the green card law, you can get the green card. So Caitlin gonna go through all the visa types that you can get based on your education. If you're a master, you can get H1B, bachelor degree as well. Even EB2 and IW, we focus on immigrant-based visa categories. At the end of this meeting, I will have the answer all of you.
Rising Group is an LLC that is trusted, and we are based in Europe and the Middle East, and we successfully enroll students into colleges and universities. We have multiple offices. We have one in Tehran, we have one in Sweden, and we also have one in the US. So student visas such as F1s in the US often do not permit long-term employment after graduation. So changing to a work visa allows graduated students to legally work and gain professional experience in their field. And then we're also going to talk about once you do change that, it does give you a permanent pathway to residency. And it transitions to different visas such as work visas or a residency program. And it can open many doors for you as a student if it's either wanting to live in the US or working here. And there are different types of visa cards. Specifically for international students, there are about 5. There's OPT, H1B, EB3, EB2, NIW, and EB1. And that's one. So we're going to get into every single one of them really slowly. So what is OPT? So the Optimal Practical Training Visa is a temporary employment authorization by U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services that gives temporary work for authorizations for F1 students, and it allows F1's visa students to work in a field of study after graduation temporarily. And then you have either 12 to 24 month of extensions if you are in STEM. So why you should choose OCT? It gives you real world experience in your field of study. It boosts your resume with U.S. work experience. And you can also build a professional connections in your industry. And then it also gives you the opportunity to be hired by U.S. employers. And then you will be more experienced in the U.S. work culture. And then important things to know for this specific visa is that you must be on an F1 visa, and then you should apply up to 90 days before and 60 days after graduation. And it is valid after that for about 12 months. But specifically again for STEM majors, if you are in STEM, it does give you a 24-month extension if you do want to use OPT. And then you must apply through USCIS and get an EAD card to then work, and then to work and to get a job that's directly related to your major. And unemployment is limited to 90 days during OPT. So this is kind of like a timeline of it all. You should apply 3 months before, and you have a 3 to 5 month window to get your application before your graduation date. And after that, you do have about 60 days, and you can choose any day within the 60-day window after graduation to start your OPT visa. And then after that, you have a little bit of a 12-month window to apply for this, but it cannot accrue more than 90 days total for unemployment during 12 months. If you are eligible, you can file for STEM up to 17-month extension, but you must file before your EAD card expires. And then after that, you have at least about 60 days, but if you remain in the U.S. For a grace period, you cannot leave or re-enter with this type of visa. So these are specific examples of the specialized fields that come with OPT. So you could be a business analyst, you could be a part of customer services, scientist, you could also be a teacher, a medical engineer, a doctor, and maybe a phlebotomist. So now we're going to get into what is H-1B. It is a primary method for employers to recruit and hire international professionals and international students to work in the USA. And this enables U.S. employers to hire foreign professionals for a specific amount of time, and this is valid for up to 3 years. And this visa allows for permanent residency, and it is highly prioritized in USCIS. So there's a couple of reasons as to why you should choose H-1B. You can legally work in the U.S. The H-1B visa allows international students to graduate and work full-time in their field of study in the U.S. This is one of the few visas that bridge the gap between F1 students and long-term employers. But there is a pathway to get a green card. Many H-1B holders apply for permanent residency through an employer sponsorship, which makes it a very strategic step for those who are willing and wanting to stay in the U.S. And there are possible extensions if you do want to choose this visa. And it's extended for about 3 to 6 years. And with this visa, your family could also come into the U.S. and in some cases your spouse can be approved for work authorization. Some important things to know is that this is a lottery-based system and it's due to high demand. H-1B visa processes with a random selection and lottery each year. This is an employer-sponsored based visa only. And you cannot apply for an H-1 visa on your own. Your employer must be able to sign a petition for you in order for you to get the H-1 visa. And then there are some job requirements. This position must be directly related to your field of study. For example, if you're in engineering, you're going to go into a job that has an engineering job. And then the start dates are fixed, so H-1B workers cannot begin their employment whenever they want. There is a specific date, and that is October 1st, which aligns with the U.S. Fiscal year. You can also switch employers while being on the H-1B, but your new employer must be able to transfer the petition before you start the new job. So you can stay at one job for a little bit, but if you decide, oh, this isn't working out for me, you're more than welcome to transfer over to a new job with a certification.
Yes, regarding H-1B, every year around March 1st, they start the lottery for the USCIS, and your employer should make an account for you on your USCIS and apply for you. So you should, as Caitlin said, you should have an employer. And the other thing is 85K. It's 60K or 65K are those who have a bachelor degree. The extra 25 or 20K is those who have master degree. So those who have master degree, they have 25K extra chance to get the H-1B. The other thing, you can have 2, 3, doesn't matter how many employers you have. So your chance of being on this lottery is going to be better, right? You can have 2 or 3 employers. Yes, I guess that's everything. And the process is very fast on H-1B. It's one of the fastest way you can change your status on your performance. So every year, just once in a year, not more, start at March, gonna take 21 days. And at the end of March, they're gonna let you know if you are one of those units or not. And the process goes 2-3 months, and you can start working in October. That's the process for H1B. We had 25, 26 targets here. That got H1B instead.
And these are some examples of specialized fields as a person. You could be a nurse, a doctor, an accountant, a biologist, a lawyer, or an IT consultant. But it ranges from many other things that are in these textbooks. Another thing that we're going to be talking about today is what is an EB-3 visa? So an EB-3 visa is a powerful option for professionals, skilled workers, and unskilled workers hoping to get residency in the U.S. through the EB-3 visa, and a U.S. company must sponsor a foreign worker for a green card through a full-time job offer from a U.S. company. In order to sponsor a foreign worker, the U.S. company must first try to hire a qualified person that's here already in the United States. If they are able to prove that this is not applicable for that person being in the United States, they will go on to the USCIS and tell them, we failed to recruit somebody from the US, and now we need this job to open up for a foreign worker. So that's what they do for the EB-3 visas. But of the total green cards available for foreign workers, 28.6% are allocated towards the EB-3 visa. Approximately 40,000 EB-3 visas are available per year. This kind of means that there are more EB-3 visa applicants than the spot, which is sometimes a little bit hard. So this is a timeline for the EB-3 visa. So first you have to set up your time labor certification, and that takes about 8 to 12 months. And then once you submit that form, you are going to have to submit the I-140 immigrant petition form, and that also takes up to 6 to 10 months. And then after that, you're going to be going to the visa boards and wait time, and this varies depending on what type of country you are in. And then also to finalize it, you have the consular progressing, and that's 260. And that takes about 6 to 12 months. So this whole thing does take a little bit of a progress. So the total estimated time is 1.5 years to 3 years, which is quite a long time, but we can get
Exactly,
through
but
it.
for you guys are on F1 business, yes? So for you gonna do change of status. So the process gonna take around 1 year for you, because you're already here in the US. Term later certification, you can premium process this, the wage determination and the name. But for I-140, when you are here, you can ask USCIS for premium process. They're gonna process your application faster here. EB-3, it has 3 different categories. EB-3 professional, but bachelor degree at least 2 years experience on a field. EB-3 skilled worker, you don't have the degree, but you have skills, and EB-3 non-skilled worker, normal jobs in restaurant.
So there was a couple reasons as to why I think it's good to choose the EB-3 visa. It does give you a direct route to permanent residency. The EB-3 visa is a straightforward path towards a green card. Once you are approved, you and your family can live/work in the U.S. permanently, so there's no need to worry about any renewals or visa expirations. And along with the flexible, and there's different types of, how do I say it? There's different types of.
You that I've explained already.
Okay. So, and then some important things to know is that this is an employer-sponsored only. You cannot apply on your own. The U.S. employer must also do this for the specific visa as well. And then the visa wait, there are visa wait times, and due to annual codes and country tax, this process can take about 1 to 2 years. And then the qualification requirements are included whether it's the one form I-140, and you either adjust that, and you send it to the US, and this is also open to a wide range of roles, and you must meet the minimum job requirements as well. And then there's also legal guidance, and since EB3 processing is a little bit complex, we do recommend that you either have an employer or an immigration consultant assist you in steps like this.
Regarding EB3, so we have two categories. H1B is non-immigrant visa, but EB3 is from those immigrant visas you get green card directly. You don't need to stay that for your school to be finished. If you find an employer right now, you can change your status from H1 to EB3. You can get your number. So even during your studies, you can change your status from H1 to EB3.
Again, these are just some examples of fields, and these are a little bit different. You could either be an accountant, a caregiver, a biologist, or a manufacturing, you could be working on Amazon. You could be an IT consultant, a teacher, hospitality workers such as cooks, managers, hostesses. Also, you can be a design professional as well. And then we're going to get into the next topic, which is an EB2 NIW. And an EB2 NIW is a U.S. green card pathway for individuals and advanced degrees for exceptional abilities in fields like science, technology, healthcare, business, or education. Unlike many work-based visas, the NIW allows international students to self-petition, meaning that they don't need an employer to sponsor them. So if they can prove their own work, and they can prove that it benefits the U.S. on a national level. If you are a student with notable academic achievements and work for community impact, EB2 NIW is a way to stay in the U.S. permanently by showing your work that serves the country. And then this is also kind of the same timeline. It does take a little bit longer. The total estimated time is 12 to 24 months.
Yes, for EB2 NIW, National Interest Behavior, then it shows this document is actually this category. You should, or your attorney should show the USCIS that you have benefit for the US. Better you stay here in the US. So you don't need job offer, you don't need anything. It's based on your petition. You need at least 3 letters from other employees or from your school, whoever, doesn't matter, who is here in the US. Then this one has a premium process. In 45 days, they're gonna check your application and you're gonna get your green card if they approve that for NIW. This category is really strong, but at least you should have mastered for people. You cannot apply without mastery. But the process is smooth, it's very fast on NIW. If they can show on your petition that will be needed here.
So why I think it is beneficial if you choose to an NIW visa, it does give you a direct route to green card. Unlike the temporary work visas here, the NI2 leads directly to a lawful permanent residency, allowing you to live and work in the U.S. indefinitely. And you can also self-petition this for yourself if you don't need a work sponsorship. And not only that, but it gives you some career flexibility. You're not tied to a specific employer, industry, or location. You're able to change jobs, start a business, and explore some type of fields that you like and are in your benefit study. And then the national impact that it gives on the US, your eligibility is based on how your work benefits the US, whether that's through innovation, research, public service, or economic growth, rather than a specific job title or offer. And this, like Alan said, this isn't tailored for advanced degrees. This is ideal for individuals with a master's degree or higher. Let's go through the next one. The specific types of fields are, again, accounting, data caregiver, biologist, manufacturing, IT consultant, teacher, hospitality, and design. And then, last but not least, we are going to be going over what is an EB-1. An EB-1 visa is the first preference green card for individuals with extraordinary abilities. That could be professors, researchers, and multinational executives and managers. It does not require a labor certification, and for some applicants, like those with extraordinary ability, they can even self-petition. This category typically has a faster processing time and often remains current in the visa bulletin, making it a top choice for qualified professionals. And then this is also just a timeline, and this one does move a little bit quicker. It's up to 12 to 20 months. Depending on what type of visa, if you're either going to do the EB-1 or the EB-1B. EB-1 is a self-petition and there's no employer. And EB-1B is employer-sponsored, but you don't need a requisite.
EB-1 is the top category and the categories and you explore achieve something before that. You should show the USS that you're special. No
Like-
one has your ability on that category.
If you get any awards for anything that's specific, for example, it'll go on to the next slide. We'll get into why you should choose an EB-1 visa. There's no firm labor certification required. Unlike many other employment-based green cards categories, the EB-1 visa does not require a firm, which means applicants can avoid the lengthy and complex Department of Labor process used to prove that there is no qualified U.S. workers. It does give you a faster green card processing time. Since the EB-1 is a first preference category, it often has a current priority for the specific visa. And then you also are able to self-petition, like we had stated, but that's for the EB-1A. And then you are eligible for premium processing, and that is just pushing it faster, and the petition can come up to 15 days sooner with additional fees. And then this is ideal for global students who have like high achievements. EB-1 visa is specifically designed for individuals who are at the top of their fields. Again, whether that be science, accounting, healthcare, or you can be an Olympian. Some important things to know is that this attracts highly skilled global talents to the U.S. So the EB-1 visa programs help some of the most talented and accomplished individuals in the world. And in the United States, which enhances the intellectual and cultural economic landscape of the United States. And then not only that, but this also enables family members to immigrate together. So the EB-1 visa allows the principal applicant spouse and unmarried children under 21 to come into the country as well and have long-term settlement in the U.S. And these are some examples of the fields. You can be a musician, an Olympian, a scientist, you can be doing like publications and awards. You can be a manager, an executive, a professor, and a researcher. Okay. And that is it, guys. Thank you for sitting there and listening to me talk and talking about different types of visas.
So if you have any question regarding different type of visas, we'll be happy to answer that. If you have question about change status, about internet,
Okay, I have a question.
yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm an international student right now, and I have a great innovation. I want to start company right now. What should I do?
You are on F1 visa.
I'm in five visa, but right now I have a great idea. I want to start business to earn money.
We
So what is the best way to do it?
unfortunately, we don't have this category in US. As
Not yet.
F1 visa, you can change to EB5, investment visa. Investment visa is for those who are businessmen. You should invest on a, construction project or even buy a business that generates at least 10 W.
Okay, so I need to invest in other company, but I cannot start business.
Exactly, you cannot. We don't have this here in US.
Get it?
In Europe, other countries, you have
Okay.
startup visa, but here startup visa goes to under EB29W, but it's not startup visa.
Okay, I see. So ask questions. Any more questions? And OPT, we have few community right now, so we're not eligible for STEAM visa, right? Only BA.
Exactly, you are not eligible for it.
Okay, even your STEAM, like science, technology, okay, engineer, those courses, even if you graduate from APT here, you will not be able to do the OPT. Okay? And after, let's say, Dala is in computer science. And she transferred to Carlsbad Heritage, okay? And then after the transfer, 4-year university, she will be able to do
Exactly.
3
If you
years.
transfer certain,
But in one level, only 1 year.
you have only 1 year.
Understand that having only 1 year of OPT
Before transferring here, you have 1 year. If you go to 4-year program, and finish it, you have 2 years. It's an extra.
They học lâu á, rồi that's học ở đây.
So, you mentioned that the H1B visa is 2 years. So, it won't matter if I have an associate bachelor with master's.
Yeah, it's very important. If you have master degree, master degree has there are 65 days each year, but you should have master. If you have master, you have extra chance, 25 day extra chance to apply for that.
25K extra.
Extra on the process. Whereas master, they say the 25 extra.
And with an associate, you cannot
No,
get
no, unfortunately.
So if we just get the associate in here,
Associate, you can apply for the H1.
right?
EB3, you can apply for professional or not professional, for skilled worker or non-skilled worker. So we can connect with HR assistant for different companies. They already talk us and then we can apply for. They're gonna be sponsored for your EB. That's the idea. H1B, that's it. I guess so. So she asked if I have master's degree or bachelor's degree from other countries, can I apply for your organizations? Doesn't mean that you have degree from.
But there's certain things, not all. Like for example,
Category
health.
for each one you're in. For each degree you can apply for, doesn't matter which job of the, just job of
They had some questions in common.
shouldn't be specific. But if one of those will be
Sorry,
specific.
I think the record is almost done, and I think students have it in the Zoom box.
Okay, so,
Still have a question in the Zoom, the box.
I don't know how can I use it. Yes, so for review for the situation indications. And it doesn't mean that you finish your studies. Right now, using your studies to define someone want to hire your studies from the phone to maybe.
But it's not hard because in the information says like, oh, the company needs to hire first and the citizen and show that they cannot find
That's
anyone.
easy, that's the process. All the companies, that's the base. After making their mission process, they should show that they try to hire someone. But there is an enforce on them because better to find them, we know someone hire.
I also have a question about, so I know that the duration of the F1 visa depends on the politics, but we can take you with the I-20. Is there a limit of time that you can be here? Because getting a master's will require a lot of time, even a bachelor's, sometimes after university, there are a limit of
For
time.
I-20, you, as long as you have I-20, you can extend your F-1. But usually, based on your college or university, you should have, commitments. There is the two on the left here and the left. They cannot explain the
So when you answer the questions that come in, you can talk to us.
Website recommendation. Yes, that's the normal website. Honestly, I don't remember those right now. We have 3 or other websites special for. You just Google that or AI. You tell me. So I can show you these websites you can use for TV sponsorship. Or when you use Google or Indeed, especially you can just add the TV sponsorship at your search. So it's going to show you the employer tools. One of the sponsorship will be these are expired. F1 is still F1. If you transfer from college to university, okay.
Yes, excuse me, language. What are some steps that you would recommend first to start the process of looking for sponsorship?
I guess you can start by searching for employers from them. You don't want to finish your studies right. I guess you're not here just for for your studies here. You don't want to go back to your the opportunity to get into the news. So better to start with looking for those job, even they are fair, they have contract HR assistant, HR managers who run the contract based on resume. And first step always was perfect resumes to work on the
Do you have any suggestion in how do we approach to the employer in order to fund us? Because I'm sure you guys know we are very talented. I know we cannot work outside the campus with pay. Can we start internship without pay and to show more talents. Is that okay?
Yes, some employers they have told me that based on employers they have this program, not all employers. They if it's
But they
if you
can
show that yeah, if you show that you are talented, they can hire you. We always looking for someone
I would suggest Indeed and LinkedIn are really good outlets for you guys to be looking for either jobs or you could enter groups that will give you updates about specific locations that'll tell you about like the different jobs, the different type of temp agencies that are around here. You could either be doing online or you could go like in person. It all just depends on doing your research on LinkedIn. Or you can come to us, and that's what I do for you, and we'd be more than happy to help you with some of this, to educate you, and just to tell you that we are here for you, helping you.
Yes, of course, we can help you. Especially for your student version, that's important. We can hire you in person. I think there's a
Thank you. Well, thank you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and log out of this Zoom, and it looks like you guys have some wonderful food going on tonight. It smelled amazing. It was so hard not to just constantly like look over that. But thank you guys. I hope you guys
Thank you for
enjoyed.
your time, hope that was good.
Okay. Let's go.